It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. Time to get a little against the grain, with common sense included.
What's up, guys? Jay Zhang here with you with Against the Grain and the Zhang Nation. It is February, DEI excluded. It's still Black History Month. We were doing that long before DEI, so let's do something real quick. America's first African American psychologist, Dr. White. He did a lot for the poor. He did a lot for the uneducated. He did a lot for the less fortunate, both in the realms of psychology and education. That's Dr. White. So I want to give respect to him. As well as Dr. James H. McGee. He was the first black mayor of Dayton. He was also the longest running mayor in Dayton for 12 years during the entire 1970s as well as the early 80s. So that's Mayor McGee of Dayton, Ohio. Now, in sports, if you know anything about Cincinnati Bearcat history, then you know who Bob Huggins is. He was the coach from 1989 to 2005. He compiled 399 wins against only 126 losses, over 70% clip in winning. One of the winningest coaches in the entire nation. I think he's the third most winningest coach in NCAA history with over 900 total wins. The most winningest coach at Cincinnati. Even Mick Cronin, who also amassed about 300 wins, doesn't come close to Coach Huggins. And I'm saying this because he showed up at the Cincinnati Bearcats game in Orlando, Florida, just the other day when they played UCF, Central Florida. Now, Cincinnati's lost 5 games in a row. They barely won anything since the year 2025 even started. And here we are almost mid-February, right? They haven't won anything. Bob Huggins appeared at that game, and he went into the locker room before the game started with Coach Wes Miller and the boys. And the rest is history. Cincinnati actually got a win. They beat Central Florida 93-83 with more offense in one game than they've put up in the last 2.5 games. I put that video up for fun, but that's totally me right now. That's totally me. I'm documented. I'm American. I was born in Cincinnati. I was born to a mom that was born in Florida, to a grandma who was born in West Virginia, to a great-grandpa and grandma that were born in West Virginia as well. So I'm cool. I'm documented. However, my father's side of the family, not so much. My grandma, she's documented. She's good to go on that side. My dad was actually deported. And I don't really look American, do I? So I'm a candidate to get pulled over by these clowns, man. And I understand what they're doing. I get it. Illegals are illegals are illegals. Even if they haven't broken the law, they're here illegally. So they are breaking the law. But some of the stuff that ICE is doing, like going into these elementary schools and just scooping these kids up and traumatizing all these kids and harassing the other ones that aren't illegal, that are there trying to learn and messing up their whole day and ruining everything, that's not very conducive. That's counterproductive to, providing an education, which is what's supposed to be going on. There's a time and a place to do that, and maybe after school would be a good place. I'm not about that. I'm not for that at all. I think that's ridiculous. There's a few things Trump's doing that's ridiculous. That is one of them. going into schools and doing this to these poor kids. I don't care if they're illegal or if they're Mexican or if they're Haitian or if they're from Burma or if they're from Antarctica. I don't care. Don't traumatize them like that. And don't do it in front of the entire school. Like, that's ridiculous. These are still kids. These are still kids. That's nuts. The other thing that's going on that is really stupid is the tariff wars. Oh, yeah, you're our ally and friend and neighbor geographically, north and south. Canada to the north and Mexico to the south. But we're going to put big tariffs on you. Really? Give me a break. That crap would have worked, if it was the very early 1800s and we had to rely on, ships instead of planes. If transporting goods was harder to do because it was a couple hundred years ago, then maybe these tariffs would have worked because, we're their neighbor. So we're cutting them off. So now they have to spend more money and go globally and get stuff from China or Italy or Greece or Argentina. And that would have been really hard to do. It would have cost a lot of money and it would have been logistically a nightmare. But it's 2025. They've got plenty of neighbors that are like, okay, we'll ship this to you. We got you. We'll send you some goods. We got you. And we'll do it cheaper. And America will be cut out because they wanted to. It is 2025. It is not 1805. The tariff crap has to stop. It has to stop. That's not going to achieve anything. Oh, and how do you feel about the Luka trade? How do you feel about the Luka trade? Luka going to the Lakers. Dude, unpopular opinion, very hot take. I think that the Lakers could be back in dynasty mode at this point. And if they were able to have kept Anthony Davis and had Luka and LeBron, dude, the sky would have been the limit. But that's just my unpopular opinion.
Oh shit, life for the jumpers. LeBron! Hey, who that is? Guess who? Zion? I thought we got Luka. Nope, not Zion. Oh, damn, baby, you came to the court for your little freak ass. I'm not your baby. I know we needed a big man, but not a goddamn lineman. What the? It's me! It's Luka! Nigga, this is all you? Nigga, holy shit! Watch these. See, I got us an O.
Back to the Cincinnati Bearcats, though, for a second. Not only did Bob Huggins visit them, and that helped with the morale of the team, but on practice the other day, you know what they did for practice? They played dodgeball. They did not practice basketball. They did not hammer down a bunch of techniques. They didn't work on defense. They played dodgeball and smiled and goofed off, and it loosened them up a little bit and helped them really just calm down and relax and go have fun. And I do believe that's another key component of the latest victory that we really needed. So I got to credit Bob Huggins because that's my guy. But credit Wes Miller, too, for doing something outside of the box and getting the job done. Now, in other news, man, I saw a video that really irked me because of the theological content that was in there, the judgmental content that was in there, and here.
This is the Brotherhood of the Remedy of Souls, in which they pray for souls in purgatory. Now, as a Bible-believing, Spirit-filled Christian, I am going to tell you the truth, and the truth is that there is no such thing as purgatory. foundational doctrine
No,
of purgatory is that
purgatory's
some
not real.
believers' sins
It's
still
definitely
need to be paid
not
for. They
real.
still need to be atoned for. And that 100% just denies the complete and finished work of Jesus Christ and what he did on the
It wasn't
cross.
instituted
To say
until
that
the
we
year
somehow still need to
1274 by
help
the
pay
church,
for our
and the
sins
Catholic Church was
is
the
saying
very
that
first
what
church. So that
Jesus
means
did,
when
the
Jesus
suffering
was still
he went through
alive,
on that cross is somehow
1270 years
inadequate. This is
plus
also clearly
before
involving carved images
purgatory
and
was
idols, which God
instilled into the
directly tells
church.
us not to do. Exodus 20,
Jesus
verse
gave
4, you
Peter
shall
the
not make
rock
for
and said,
yourself
"Hey,
a carved
Petra,
image or any
rock,
likeness of
upon
anything
you I shall build
that
my
is in
church."
heaven above,
And
or
that's
that is
when
in earth beneath, or that
Christianity
is in
was
the
first
water
started.
underneath the earth.
So the Catholic Church
Religion
is the
from
first
man.
church.
Religion
Purgatory,
is man-made, and religion takes you away from a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. This stuff is normalized in the world today in religion, but God's word clearly instructs against it.
I'll let you read my
There is no
comments.
such thing as purgatory. We do
know,
not
these
atone
aren't graven
for our sins.
images.
We cannot
This isn't
pay
idolatry.
for our sins. That's why Jesus
religion
Christ
is important.
came and died and suffered
It's
for
Latin
us.
for
The work that he
relegare,
did,
which
the
means
blood
to
that he shed
reread
on that cross,
and
paid
redo.
in full
And
for
what
our
you're
sins.
doing in essence
We
is you're
cannot pray
redoing
to, speak
the
to,
same
or pray
thing
for the dead, and we
over
are
and
not
over
to
again.
have any kind
You're
of
and it's no
image
different
or
than
idol. God
us
is
celebrating
very clear about
someone's
these things.
birthday
So
every
when
year.
we
It's no
participate
different than
in these
celebrating
things that
the
God
4th of
instructs us
July or
not to,
Christmas every
we are
year. It's something that
entertaining
you
the demonic
redo.
realm. There is
That's
only
not a
God
bad
versus
thing.
Satan.
So you
There
got it
is
twisted
only good
there.
versus evil. So if you are directly going against something that is written in God's word, you are entertaining the demonic realm, and that is exactly why God instructs us not to do it. Listen, I never mean to offend anybody, but when we speak the truth from God's word, a lot of times it is going to step on some toes. And the truth is that this is satanic idol worship. Just because this is rooted in
chanting
tradition
and
does not
everything that's
excuse
going
it
on
from what is
is
happening here. This
it's
literally
Latin.
looks like the entrance.
And a lot of people don't
to the
understand. You know
underworld.
how English is spoken today in so many countries around the world? We speak it here in North America, in Canada, it's spoken in Europe, it's spoken in China as like a second or a third language. It's spoken in the Philippines as a second language. People in Japan are learning it. It's the main language of Australia. It's a globally spoken
This is
language.
the Brotherhood of the Remedy of Souls, in which they
That's
pray
known
for-
all over the world by many. So Latin was the same way back then. There was no English back then. Latin was the universal language. So that's why they're chanted in Latin. Satan hated that. Satan freaking hated that, because when they did their services in Latin, that meant more people globally could understand it, and more people got to hear the message, and that pissed him off. It's actually a lot more aesthetically pleasing and pious and holy looking than the Protestant shake. Ooh, the holy roller dance. Ay, yeah, 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 yeah. But these definitely aren't graven images. These are made so that the illiterate and the people that can't read and the people that didn't have very good Latin, like we don't have very good English, the people that didn't have very good Latin, that weren't learned, they could see it, visualize it. There's not graven images. We have pictures of our family on our walls. That's not a graven image, is it? No. Or some people have a portrait of Jesus on there, and it's usually a white Jesus. I don't know how a blatantly white man appeared in the Middle East, but anyway, they usually have pictures of Jesus. That's not a graven image any more than these are graven images, so not true. But who am I? I'm just some minister, just some doctor. I don't really know anything. At the end of the day, what I have to say about all of it is quit judging. We're all supposed to be on the same team. It doesn't matter if you're a Protestant, a Catholic. We're supposed to be on the same team. That's why we look stupid. That's why there's so many people that are like, okay, this Christianity is pretty dumb. I don't want to do this. We make ourselves look like morons. We're fighting each other. Um, and I am a what you would call a reformed Mormon. They renamed themselves the Community of Christ, but we have a liturgical calendar. We do things according to the same liturgy, like the same A, B, and C year that like your liturgical Roman Catholic Church does. We also read the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants. And we also have a lot of Protestant aspects in our services. So we do a little bit of everything, and we do it beautifully. We also do kind hands, where we actually get out and we personally, members of the church, go and help the poor. Every month we do it. You know, it's not just talked about. Almsgiving isn't something that we talk about in a pew. We go out and do it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, my tradition is a beautiful blend of Protestantism and Roman Catholicism and LDS faith. A little bit of everything. And I like that. I like that. Instead of bickering amongst each other, we do it all. And we respect it all. We're very social justice oriented. I think that mocking or talking about another faith that is obviously Christian, it's obviously Jesus they're worshiping, it's obviously love that they're doing it in, they're obviously doing the tradition because they do it all the time because it's very important to them. I don't think we should be bickering with one another about it. I think we should be uniting and going against some of the other stuff out there that we actually need to be going against, not other Christians. That's ridiculous, and it needs to stop. One last thing before I close this out. I am very strongly considering running for president in a few more years when it's time for the presidential election. By then, I will have my master's completed in psychology. I'll have my liberal arts finished. I'm already an honorary doctor of divinity, so I have the educational tools to get the job done, and I feel like I have the ideological tools to get the job done too. You've heard how I feel about religion. You've heard how I feel about ICE. I think I'm common sense. I think I'm pragmatic. I think me being against the grain is actually me being pragmatic and exuding common sense. You heard how I felt about the trades, the tariffs. Yeah. Now, in terms of the global population and being global citizens, another hot take, unpopular opinion. Instead of battling with China, fighting with Russia, and all this other nonsense, I would be going to be friends with them, not technologically battling them and censoring them and blocking their apps from the US. No, 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 no. I would be friending them. One, they're huge. They are 3 times bigger than we are. We need to be their friends. There's too many of them, and they're not what you think. You know, their brand of communism is not a threatening brand to us. We can still do what we do here. Russia, we need to friend them. We need to be strategically aligned with who we are calling our enemies currently. And that includes North Korea. I'd be taking my butt over to North Korea. I'd be meeting up with Kim Jong-un, and I'd be his friend. I'd be like, look, dude, you've got to put the past aside. You know, it's a new time and age. It's not a time to be blowing people up with global war. It's time to be friends, all of us. It's time for some real world peace here. You know, put our ideologies aside, put our religion aside, put humanity in front of all of that. We need to get along. We all need to be good. We need to be working for our population of billions, with 8 billion people. That's what we need to be doing. What we don't need to be doing is fighting and threatening to blow each other up. It's not going to work, man. We need to save humanity. And that is my stance. I'm really thinking about running. People might think I'm nuts, but it is what it is. You can think I'm nuts all you want. If you think I'm nuts because I'm about world peace on a global front, then maybe I'm not the one who's nuts. All right. I'm done now, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.
It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. It's Jay Zhang, he's amazing. Time to get a little against the grain, with common sense included.